On your side tonight, getting into the mind of a modern-day sleuth, not in the traditional sense of solving a crime. We're talking about solving one of the biggest issues impacting our health. Juan Vivero-Escado is an associate professor of chemistry at UNC Charlotte. He's trying to find a way to kill bacteria that are becoming resistant to antibiotics.
Well, it's a huge problem. Some reports actually say that in 2050, issues associated to antimicrobial resistant bacteria, from the point of view of dead people, will be even higher than cancer.
Yeah, it gets your attention, right? Antibiotic-resistant bacteria could be more deadly than cancer in the next 25 years. We'll get to Vivero-Escado's research in a moment, but we thought his path to get to this point is worth hearing as well.
Well, that's interesting, because for me it started very early when I was 9-10 years old, just reading a book which is called Microbe Hunter or Hunters. So I really got in depth in that book, which described the life of different microbiologists. So it's funny, after finishing the book, I knew I want to be a scientist.
What was it about that? As a little boy who thought, wow, these guys are like amazing, I want to do this.
I mean, they were obsessed with trying to find answers, going to the lab, middle of the night. I mean, some of them, they have the lab just in their home and doing experiments. And I don't know, I got so hooked up with that idea of being obsessed, trying to find answers to certain observations or hypotheses.
You're almost like detectives, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much detectives. I mean, we need to keep our mind like yours. I mean, kids are always asking why, why? They're trying to find the answer. I mean, why is the color of the sky that way? Why is this happening? So we are kids and detectives at the same time.
That's funny, because every parent can relate to that, to their little one sitting behind them in the car and just peppering them with a million questions, because you're trying to figure out how the world works, right?
Correct.
And that just really stuck with you.
Yeah, and it's the same for scientists. We are trying to figure out how the world works.
Well, in his case, how can we fight back against the bacteria that are becoming resistant to antibiotics? It's a problem created by misuse, overuse, and at times underuse. The solution may lie in something you have in your house: silver. You may not realize it, but it's been used to fight bacteria for centuries. Ancient civilizations applied the metal to open wounds. The Greeks used silver vessels to keep water fresh. The Roman Empire stored wine in silver urns to prevent spoilage. Now, what they're doing here in the labs of UNC Charlotte doesn't involve silver like you would imagine it. They're using tiny silver nanoparticles. You only know they're in these flasks because of the colors that are swirling about. So how small are we talking about? Well, think of it this way. A soccer ball, compared to the size of the Earth, is a nanoparticle compared to that soccer ball. But in this case, the very small could be very mighty.
So one of the features of antibiotics is that they kill bacteria in a very specific way. And one of the reasons why bacteria find resistance is because of that selectivity in terms of killing. So there is just one mechanism that antibiotic use to kill that cell. So it's easy to find resistance to just one mechanism. In the case of nanoparticles, we are actually taking advantage of those materials to have more than one mechanism to kill the cell.
A silver bullet almost, it sounds like.
Pretty much, or a silver bomb.
But to create that bomb to attack the bacteria, you need a fuse. You see it here in this room. Light.
What we are doing with light is that we are controlling that activation in terms of release silver ions, and we are actually enhancing that process. So that's a key point of our approach for killing bacteria. We are combining the light with the nanoparticles.
So the light comes on, the nanoparticles activate, and they go in search of what they wanted to destroy.
Correct. Yes. So the idea is nanoparticles, and also one of the important features of nanoparticles is they are so small that these pathogens can even intake those nanoparticles inside, can swallow these nanoparticles. So that is very helpful, because now they are inside, and once you activate there, well, it's complete destruction of that pathogen.
how close are we then to more widespread uses for some of these other things, for your children who are having trouble, beating a bug back?
That's, I guess, a difficult question to answer, in the sense that there is a lot of factors that involve for us to move a nanoparticle or nanotechnology to actually put in people. I mean, you really want to make sure that the system is safe and it's just going to kill bacteria and it's not going to damage that person. So there is a lot of step intermediate that you need to go through before actually moving to that direction.
Is patience one of the hardest things to develop in science?
And that's something that I encourage the students to learn, to deal with these failures. Because I actually joke with my students and say, well, doing science is 95% failures and 5% success. Yeah. So just stay with that and don't be discouraged. Just keep moving with what you're doing, keep trying, and at some point we will get it. So.
The 5% makes it worth it, doesn't it?
That's correct. That's correct.
Amazing things going on in the new science building there at UNC Charlotte.